Hey guys, it's Jesse W coming at you with another episode of Hustle with Jesse W. And today we're going to talk about how to get around the PDT rule, pattern day trader rule. The pattern day trader rule means that if you have a margin account for trading and you want to trade more than 3 times in a 5-day rolling period, you need to have $25,000 in your account or more if you are a United States trader, citizen, etc. Okay, so if you're in the US, you want to trade with a US broker, you need to have $25,000 or more in your account in order to take more than 3 day trades in a 5-day period. A day trade is getting in and out of a position, of the same position within the same day. Okay, so if I was trading ADIL and I bought, whatever, 1,000 shares right now, and I sold 1,000 shares or 500 shares, and then I sold another 500 shares all within the same day, even including pre-market and after hours, that's a day trade. In order to do that 3 times or more in 5 days, you need to have 25K in your account or more in order to do that with a margin account. Or you can have a cash account. And that's one way that we can get around this PDT rule. You have a cash account, and let's say you have a cash account with $5,000. Now, with a cash account, you're not held to the PDT, but you are held to only being allowed to trade with the cash that's settled in your account. So for instance, if today you have $5,000 in your account and you traded $2,500 worth of a stock, that means that tomorrow, that $2,500 that you traded today is not available. That's going through a settlement period. So it's not available. But tomorrow, you still have another $2,500 because remember, your account has 5K in it. So tomorrow, you still have $2,500 you can trade with. Tomorrow is, let's say, Tuesday. Now Wednesday rolls around. Do you have Monday to trade with? Yes, you do. The $2,500 that you used on Monday is now available on Wednesday for you to trade. Let's say you didn't trade on Wednesday. What does this mean? Thursday rolls around and you have your full 5K ready to rock and roll. So one way to get around the PDT and trade as much as you want is with a cash account. If you have $10,000 in your cash account, you can trade $2,500 every day, $5,000 every day. Or you can trade $10,000 on one day, skip the next day, you're going to not be able to trade, at least a day trade. And then on Wednesday, bam, you have your $10,000 back. Now, I'm not one to try to trade my entire account in every single position. So if I had a cash account that I'm rolling with and I have $10,000 in it, maybe on Monday I traded $2,000 worth, $3,000 worth. That means on Tuesday, I still have, $7,000, $8,000 to trade with. So a cash account is a great way to get around that and slowly grow your account. Absolutely. The other options that you have is still with a margin account. Now, the minimum for a margin account in the United States, if I'm not mistaken, is, let me check my notes, $2,000. Thought it was $2,500 for a second there. My mistake. It's $2,000. So that means, let's say you have $4,000 to open up a trading account and you want to open up a margin account because you want to be able to trade unsettled cash. Okay, now you get $2,000. You go and you put it in E-Trade and you open up a margin account. You get your other $2,000 and you go and you put it in TD Ameritrade and you open up another margin account. Now you have 2 margin accounts. Remember what we talked about at the beginning? Each margin account under $25,000 lets you do 3-day trades every 5 days. So now you have 3-day trades over at E-Trade. You have 3-day trades over at TD Ameritrade, giving you 6-day trades within a 5-day period. Okay? So you can basically trade every single day of the week with your margin account. So not only are you going to trade those $2,000, you're going to have margin on there. So you're going to have $4,000 buying power, and you're able to trade 6 times because you'll do 3-day trades with E-Trade, 3-day trades with TD Ameritrade. And that's the second way to get around the PDT rule, that pattern day trader rule, which is extremely pesky. I know some people love it because they don't have really good self-control, so it kind of keeps them in line. You can do a cash account, but the majority of people hate the PDT because it just holds you back from taking extra plays. Because think about it. Nobody has 100% win rate when trading. So let's say you get into your first trade early in the morning, it's a loser, you cut it, you lost $50, $100, and then a second play pops up where you can make, $200, $300. Well, now you can't jump in there. You might not be able to jump in there because you're on the PDT. So that's why people generally don't like the PDT. I don't like PDT. I hate it. Thankfully, all year long, I traded above PDT on a margin account. Okay? But I don't like PDT. So I'd rather actually use a cash account or my big account over $25,000. So it's one or the other for me. I'm not really a fan of using margin accounts with under PDT because of those rules. But hey, maybe that's what you would prefer, right? I'd rather get a $10,000 account, cash account, and just trade that, or trade my big account and not trade under PDT at all and use margin. Well, the margin settlement, anyways, where I can trade my cash, all day long if I want. So those are a couple of ways to get around that PDT. But there's more. There's more ways. I've never done any of the ones we're about to talk about just because it's not something that I've had to use. Even though when I first started, I thought about going this route, and that's using an offshore broker. And we're going to go into those in a little bit of detail here in a second on the web. But you can use offshore brokers. These are brokers that are outside of the United States that do not have to abide by that PDT rule. They are not allowed to contact you and sell you their services, but you're perfectly fine going and seeking out their service. There's a SureTrader, there's Alliance Trader, there's CMEG, I believe is the name. It's a new one. New to me, that's popped up recently. It's become very popular. I'm seeing a lot of my trading buddies using it. So those are offshore brokers. You can open up those accounts with as little as some of them as $500, $700, $1,000. I would not recommend opening such a small account as a beginning day trader, just because it's really not going to be a good experience for most people that are starting out. But you can open up one of those small accounts or one of those offshore brokers. You can grab $5,000 and go to one of those offshore brokers, open up a margin account. You're going to have more buying power and you're not going to be held to the PDT. They do have a whole lot of other fees, but once you know what those fees are, you should have no problem. Okay, now let's go ahead and dive into some of these and check out their fees and their structure. All right, so the first one we have here is E-Trade. As you can see here on my screen, you have E-Trade, and we can go ahead and check out their pricing. And remember, their cost for trading, their cost per trade is not any different from margin to a cash account, etc. For example, if you want to trade stocks, options, ETFs, $6.95 per trade. That's what you're gonna pay per trade. If you make more than 30 trades per quarter, which generally you're gonna make about that or more than that usually per quarter, it'll drop your fees down to $4.95 per trade. So now each buy and each sell is going to cost you $4.95 per each one. So that's going to be your trading fee. There's going to be some small FINRA fees and stuff like that they add up to a couple cents, give or take. But in the gist, $4.95 is what you would pay if you're doing over 30 trades or more per quarter with E-Trade. And remember, you can have the cash account with them or you can have the margin account we spoke about earlier. Then you have TD Ameritrade. Remember earlier how we said we can open up a $2,000 margin account with E-Trade and another $2,000 margin account with TD Ameritrade? Well, here you go. This is what you're going to pay with TD Ameritrade, $6.95 per trade. And with TD Ameritrade, you can use Thinkorswim, which is their free trading platform. It's going to allow you to have charts up, level 2, time and sales. E-Trade has E-Trade Pro, which I personally prefer much more over Thinkorswim. I'm not a Thinkorswim fan. I know it's extremely popular. I've tried to use it and I have it on my computer, but it's just not something that I have found easy to use. However, E-Trade Pro to me is extremely easy to use, very user friendly, and you also have the live TV where you can see, what's going on in the markets. So that's what you would pay with TD Ameritrade. I am unsure if TD Ameritrade has any. I'm trying to look through here, and I've looked. I'm unsure if TD Ameritrade has any discounts as far as if you make X amount of trades per quarter. Maybe that's something you can discuss with them if you're a very active trader and negotiate with them. You can do that with any broker. If you're extremely active, you can always negotiate your fees with your broker. I have negotiated my fees with E-Trade, and we've come to a good fee. And many traders that I know have done the same. So you can do the same with just about any broker. You can negotiate your fees as long as you're an active trader. So you also have a couple of other things going on with E-Trade and TD Ameritrade. For example, with E-Trade, you have, let's see here. If you're going to open up a new account, it might not pop up here for me now easily. But if you were going to open up a new account, they have different type of promotions. Like for example, if you open up an account, I believe with $10,000, or $5,000, something like that, something in that neighborhood, you can have free trades for 60 days or 500 trades, whichever comes first. And the more money you put in your account, they'll even give you some cash into the account. So if you do, I think it's 25 to 30,000, they'll give you an extra $200, and that's as of today. That can change tomorrow. It can change by the time you see this video. This video is being done in 2018. Maybe you're watching this and it's 2020 and it's completely different. But talk to them. Talk to E-Trade and TD Ameritrade, and you'll see that they have those kind of deals going on, and they're available. Look, like for example, TD Ameritrade right here. Trade commission free for 60 days or up to $600. Click see details and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do. See, if you start off your account with $3,000, they'll give you 60 days or obviously $600 of free trades. If you do $25,000 in your account or more, they'll give you $100, $100,000, $300 to $50K, $600 they're going to add into your account. That's pretty cool. And like I said, E-Trade has the same things, just can't find them right here. For some reason, I just don't have it right here handy. Now, we've already covered E-Trade and TD Ameritrade on both cash accounts and margin accounts. Now we're going to hop on over and check out the offshore brokers. So to start, one of the most popular ones is SureTrader. SureTrader, look at this. SureTrader, they have a lot of pop-ups as you saw. SureTrader has a lot of bad rap on the internet, but they are a tool that can be used to your advantage so that you can grow your small account and then take your money out and go open up your account with a US broker, something more secure. SureTrader has a lot of fees when you're like depositing money, taking money out, stuff like that. But they have improved in some things. They used to be pretty expensive, like about $10 per trade. Plus you had all your ECN fees. Okay, that's all your routing fees. Now they have a new system here where they don't have any type of routing fees. So you click here, 0. There's no routing fees with SureTrader at this time, which is pretty cool. Let me tell you, that's actually really cool that they have that. Then you have the per share cost. I'll charge you a cent per share. A minimum of $4.95 per trade. Okay, so if you trade a lot of shares, a little bit of shares, they'll work with you in that sense. Do not use the SureTrader web platform. If you're going to use any of these for day trading, especially if you're going to be trading volatile stocks that are low float, don't use the web platform. Web platforms are glitchy and they're really slow. You're going to want the software that you download. So in this case, you're going to want the SureTrader Pro platform, and that's going to have, or it usually has, a monthly fee. Usually that's in the neighborhood of $100 to $150 a month. That's going to include your level 2 access and your book, etc., etc. Okay, so now that you see SureTrader and you've seen what's going on with more or less the gist of that, we're going to move on to another one. Before we do though, remember you have to familiarize yourself with all the fees these offshore brokers have. They have fees even when you deduct money out of your account. So in order to not have a bad experience, you want to dissect and make sure that you know the ins and outs of everything that's going on with that broker you're using. Get them on the phone, get them on the email, get them on the chat. Look, you can chat right here, bam. And make sure you ask all the questions that you want to know the answers to. The next one's Alliance Trader. Alliance Trader, I believe, came out a year or two ago. At least it became very popular at that point. Alliance Trader has a pretty good rep, but they're extremely expensive. As you can see here, $4.95 per trade. Sounds fine, right? But that's only if you're doing 400 shares. All right? Generally, if we're trading stocks under $10, the minimum most of us usually want to trade is 500 shares. Generally. Some people trade less, especially if they're learning. And some people trade a whole lot more. Some of my biggest positions have been 10,000 shares. Some of my smallest positions have been 250 shares. It all just depends what you're trading and what your risk tolerance is at the moment with that stock. But as you can see here, 400 shares, $4.95. It's pretty expensive. 2,000 shares, which is standard, that's pretty normal, $8.95. And anything over that, 3,000 shares, we're looking at $9.95. That's kind of expensive. And you can see here some of their other fees that they have going on. So, in essence, you want to definitely take a look at them and find out what all their fees are. And then you want to look into their platforms. You can actually, the same with SureTrader right here, you can go ahead and take a demo. You can download their demo, sign up, and test out their platform for free for a few days, a couple weeks. It depends on what deal they have going on. As you can see here, this one's for 2 weeks. And you can paper trade their platform so you can get used to it if you're not used to it. Most of them use DashTrader Pro software, which I like. I'm a big fan of DashTrader Pro. I used it when I was trading with SpeedTrader, and I really enjoyed it. But you can see here all their different type of softwares. The web software, don't use that. Don't use web software for these type of trades. It's going to be free, but you get what you pay for. The web platforms can be extremely glitchy and definitely very slow in comparisons. Remember, you want direct access here and you want it quick. Here's what the platform kind of looks like. This looks exactly like DashTrader. I'm pretty sure that's what they're using over at Alliance. So yeah, there it is, DashTrader Pro. So that's Alliance Trader. That's another offshore broker. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're in, God, I want to say the Bahamas or Jamaica, but could be wrong. I know SureTrader is in the Bahamas if I'm not mistaken. Then you have another one that's come up recently, and they're very popular, including one of my closest trading buddies is using them, and that's CMEG, all right? That's CMEG. They're very popular. My buddy's using them, and so far he hasn't complained to me, not even once, about them. But their website, I'm on here, and I want to, let's say, get some information on pricing, right? Standard account pricing. Let's click that. Let's view standard account pricing. This pops up as you see here. See, in compliance with SEC Rule 15A-6, this website is not intended to solicit a U.S. person, but you can work with them. They're just not allowed or permitted to solicit your business. You can go ahead and work with them as long as they're not the ones that contacted you. To proceed, you will need to agree with CMG's indemnity agreement. You click it. You can read it. I've already done that. And then you agree. And it's supposed to clear this out so you can look at all the details here, but it really doesn't clear out and doesn't seem too easy to get through. So I really can't go into details, sadly, for you on this one, at least at this time. Maybe we can do another video on CMEG down the line, and I can go into more details on them for you. But so far here, I really can't do much, with their website, which is extremely disappointing, just because it has become very popular. See, we'll try here through the active trader part of the site. We'll agree and see that thing's still stuck there in the middle. More or less, you can see here, it looks like it's $3.95 per 1,000 share orders. So it's not really bad there at all. And the more you trade, the smaller the commission fees are. That's great, but I can't really see if they have any huge or added fees in order for you to withdraw your money or deposit money. I also can't see their software on there. I do believe they use the DAS software or something very similar, but again, even with them, don't use the web portals, don't use the web software to trade. Use the actual software that you download to your computer. So there you have it, guys. You have various forms of getting around the PDT, from cash accounts to multiple margin accounts to trading offshore with offshore brokers. You want to go ahead and look into which one is going to fit your account size, it's going to fit your risk tolerance, and it's going to fit what you want to risk when you're out there and doing your trades. You always get what you pay for. Don't be afraid of commissions. You're going to get, like I said, you're going to get what you pay for. Don't use the web portals, the web platforms. Use the actual software that you download to your computer. Much more effective and secure and stable. And sure, with some brokers, it's going to cost you a few bucks monthly to use it. With some brokers like E-Trade, I believe E-Trade is free now, just like TD Ameritrade. Don't quote me on that. Ask them. But with some some brokers like them, you are able to as well as get it for free if you trade X amount of times or make X amount of totals and fees and commissions for them. They'll let you have the downloadable version with the monthly fee waived and your level 2 fees waived. They'll cover that. So those are questions you want to ask the broker. But go ahead and take a look at everything we just spoke about here on this video. Any questions that you have, please leave them below. I'll be happy to come around and answer them. And don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified when I upload videos. The next video is not going to be stock related unless it's a morning recap. Other than that, guys, I hope you're having a great start to your day, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.